Hey, what's up guys? Edward Daily Crypto here, and in this video we're going to be doing a BTC scalp walkthrough. So in the bottom right corner you'll see my video. Don't pay attention to that. I didn't realize it was on. This is only supposed to be a screen recording, so this is a voiceover. So the first thing we'll take note here is RSI divergence. This is what made me want to take the trade above anything else on my chart. I saw the RSI divergence on multiple time frames and it made me want to enter. So after I see the RSI divergence, and if you're not familiar with that, we have a separate video on it you can catch up on. I want to set my risk to reward ratio. So now I'm going to try and at least get 1 to 1. First I'm going to try and see where I can get my take profits out at. I'm going to set it to the 200 EMA, so that way if it bounces for resistance there, I can more than likely get this trade closed. Then the next thing I want to do is adjust my stop loss. I want to try and put it right below the recent swing low. So I'm going to try and get it as close as I can to that and right underneath the divergence, so that if price continues in that downward direction, I'm going to get stopped out of this trade and I'm going to look for a different opportunity, right? So then I can manage my trade, and it looks pretty good, really pretty fair to me with what the market's giving me. I really want to enter off that divergence, so this looks like a comfortable trade. This is where I'm going to put my TP1 in the risk to reward ratio, and now I'm drawing out additional take profit targets. So it's possible to chase your trade up, but not every situation will allow that. So if I can hit this risk to reward ratio full and take profits, I want to try and get to some of these other higher profit levels to take some more profits. But I really want to make sure that I at least get my risk to reward ratio filled. That's why I didn't put my green line all the way up to those other targets. And now I'm speeding up the video so that way you can see how this actually played out. I'm not sure how long the trade actually took, but I mean, you can count the candlesticks and watch the video in slow motion if you want to. So pretty much off the divergence signal, right about where we wanted to enter, even at market price, not waiting for a limit order, based upon the conditions that we saw. So as you can see, if you set up a realistic risk to reward ratio, base it off of indicators that you have available to you, you can make use of this on any time frame. It doesn't have to be a scalp. You can use this setup on multiple time frames. If you're using a larger time frame, you'll need to use multiple time frame analysis in order to conduct this. As you can see here, I'm placing my trade across 3 time frames. I'm looking at the 1, 3, and 5 minute. So I'm using the 5 minute time frame as my bigger picture, and I'm using the 1 minute, like I said, for my entry. So this trade didn't take too long. The percentages were met, and now we have achieved a profitable trade for the day. We can try to wager up on another one with a different setup, or we can be happy with what we made for the day and maybe start charting for something tomorrow. There's no need to rush more than one trade in a day unless you see a good opportunity. So just for reference sake, here's what that trade would have looked like if you tried to chase up to those other take profit targets. So if you would have stopped out where your initial risk to reward ratio was, you would have done a good job, you would have got your profits. But if you tried to chase this trade up anymore, you would have ultimately came back to your entry if you didn't readjust your stop loss up. So once you actually get into profits, you can put your stop loss up to a profitable position. You didn't have to go all the way back to your entry. But in this scenario, I just wanted to show you what the trade could have looked like if you tried to chase those other targets. And then even later after that, it fell further down and then back up through the outbreak. So trading is subjective to the moment, and you have to have an entry in mind and an exit in mind with a controlled risk to reward ratio. So I hope this video helps you to analyze how you can make a trade in the future.